Play Reflog Show is brought to you by ShackNews.com. Shack News is the place to be for all your gaming news and reviews, walkthroughs, and guides. So check out what they have to say about the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and some of the hottest new games like Cyberpunk 2077. And this week they have a special Shack Chat, discussing the best gaming moments of 2020. They do much more than just write great articles at Shack News, with celebrity interviews and weekly Twitch streams. So make sure you go subscribe with them on Twitch. And now Shack News is changing the video game coverage landscape with Shack News Cortex, a brand new way to interact and get involved in the gaming community right on their site. So if you're a gamer, Shack News is the site for you. Check them out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at the handle @ShackNews and at ShackNews.com.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
Cut back by Chubb. He's to the 10. He's still running to the 5. He dips outside left. He's doing it. Touchdown. Swing on drive. To the left. Away. Back to goal. Reflog. Instruct y'all for backwards. Boom shakalaka.
Welcome to the Big Play Reflog Show. Today is Monday, December 21st, 2020. It's almost time for Christmas. I am your host, Big Play Dave, alongside my main man, the coach, Mr. Chris McNeil. How are you, sir?
10-4, Dave, and the Buckeyes are in the playoffs. Can't get much better around this time of the year, especially for 2020, going out with a bang.
How wild is that? How
Yeah.
wild? In one season, 10 wins.
No doubt. Who would have thought the Browns have 10 wins, the Buckeyes have 6 wins, and right now it's a success on both fronts.
Right.
Right?
Good point.
Amazing. Amazing. 2020 is an amazing animal.
That's right. You know who's also amazing? Nick Padone. Welcome back to the show, brother. How are you?
Dave, good to be back. 10-4, and those Pittsburgh Steelers are trying to leave that door cracked open.
All right, so right before we went live, you said that Juju took a huge hit on Monday Night Football here. What happened, Nick?
Yeah, Juju took a huge hit. Obviously, then, like right after the Monday Night Crew airs the videos, if you guys aren't familiar, Juju is like a TikTok star. So he films a video before every game of himself dancing at midfield on the other team's logo. And today, the Cincinnati Bengals did not take liking to that. And those Bengals are up on the Steelers right now, boys.
we'll see how that plays out.
Cleveland, Juju. If we don't have a logo, there's nothing to dance on, right?
Yeah.
Fair point. Fair point.
Right? Thank you.
Oh, man. We got a great show for you guys. What's up? Say hello in the comments. We're talking 10-4 Browns tonight on the show. We will kick it off just a few days from Christmas here. Power Rank Monday, our favorite Christmas movies, always a polarizing subject. Then we will get into our featured interview, NASCAR team owner, former driver, Matt Tifft. Cleveland fan, huge Browns fan. Saw him on Twitter last night. Looking forward to talking with him here in, I don't know, about 10 minutes. Then we will get into the Cleveland headlines. Browns heavy. Pro Bowl rosters were just announced, if anyone cares. We got some Pro Bowlers on this team. If I didn't mention it before, Browns are 10-4. And then we will do some reaction to that win yesterday. Nice routine win. And then get into the big plays of the week on my bookie, break down some prop bets for that Jets Sam Darnold led team. Looking forward to that here in just a little less than a week, and then give you our bold predictions and get you the heck out of here on a Monday night. Let's kick it off with some Power Rank Monday.
It's time for Power Rank Monday.
All right, right, we got Keith on Facebook joining with my grandma and my parents probably. What's up, Kev? Murph, 10-0 Bengals. Here we go. Monday Night Football. All right, let's get into some Power Rank Monday. Christmas 4 days away. Prime holiday season movie watching time with the families. We are going to power rank our favorite Christmas movies. I will go with my number 3, not my number 2. Bad Santa. Going a little off the cusp there.
Billy Bob Thornton, right?
Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
Great movie. My cousin, one of my cousins in Minnesota, looks exactly like the little kid in this movie. Like,
Really?
and like ever since this movie came out, and like we'd go to Minnesota for Christmas, I just look at him and be like, he's gonna ask me if he wants to fix some sandwiches. Like, I'm like this, I can't stop laughing when I see him now. I feel so bad. But Bad Santa, my number 3. Wooden Pickle. Number 2. The Santa Claus. We were just talking Tim Allen, huge Home Improvement fan growing up, Tool time. Love Tim Allen. The Santa Claus, rewatched it like a week ago with the kids. Still holds up. CGI does not hold up at all, but the acting does and the story. That's a great movie.
That's an evergreen statement on this show, that the acting holds up, but the CGI doesn't when we're talking about old movies. That's so funny.
It's like our show. And then my number 1, the classic, Kevin McAllister, Home Alone. It's got everything. Greatest Christmas movie of all time. Home Alone number 1.
Boy, that's a bold statement right there.
Oh, it is. It's so good.
Yeah, it's over the top. I don't know.
I know what you're gonna have on your list, Chris. And I left a couple off. You know what? Honorable mention. We just watched The Christmas Chronicles. You seen this with Kurt Russell? Love Kurt Russell.
I heard that.
Those are actually really good. I was a little inebriated for the second one, but the CGI in that one was awful. But it was actually a really, really good movie, both of those. So definitely number 1, but number 2 is okay.
My number 3, Dave. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
The Star Wars Holiday Special. How about that? And the button's stuck down once again, so that's going to continue to play in the background. That's great. Chewie, did you know that there was a Star Wars Holiday Special?
No.
I've got Noah, the intern, here today, and he's actually got a mic. Noah, did you know that there was a Star Wars Holiday Special?
I did not. No.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Back in 1978, this gem came out, and it was all about Chewie going back to his family, and they got all the actors, surprisingly, to come in and play, and now it's really hard to find. It is on YouTube, but they've been trying to kind of bury it for years because it was so bad. They don't even have it on Disney. When they bought all the rights to all the Star Wars, they did not buy this one, but still, it makes my list. I'll put it in as number 3. Dave.
Was that like a straight to DVD at the time, or VHS or Laserdisc?
It was straight to whatever. I don't know, reel to reel at that time.
Yeah. Is that with the crank TVs?
That's right. That's exactly what that is. 1978 Star Wars Holiday Special. Look it up, kids.
There you go.
My number 2. A favorite around my house, and this is one of those that's kind of funny because I always grew up thinking it was just our household, but it turns out that this is like all over Northeast Ohio, all over Ohio, A Christmas Story. Just everybody loves that. My uncle, who had Down syndrome, he loved this movie, and he would play it year round. So everybody in my family, the McNeil side of the family, knows every single line of this movie because of my Uncle Scotty. Love you, Uncle Scott. But he would play it nonstop, and it's an institution in our family. So that is my number 2, Dave.
That's awesome.
My number 1. Christmas Vacation. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That's got to be number 1 on a lot of people's lists, right?
Oh, no? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was going to put it on mine, but I knew it was going to be your number 1, so I left it off.
Now, how often do you have a series where the best movie is the third movie? Because that's what you get with this one.
Yeah.
You have European Vacation. That was one? No, one was the regular Vacation. then European, right?
Yep. Then Christmas.
Christmas was 3.
And
And then Vegas after that, and then
Love
some other
Vegas.
things that they attempted. Yeah, I like
Vegas is great. Yeah.
Everything after that though was not very good.
Were you
But
the Were you the one who put out the poll? The best Rusty.
Yes, I did.
Who won?
Did. Who did win? It was the kid from No. It was the guy from the original. I can't think of his name. He's famous from the Rat Pack.
Breakfast Club.
From Breakfast Club.
Oh, Michael something. Michael something, right?
Yes. Somebody's gonna kill me for this one. How am I not coming up with it? He was famous back then and doesn't do a whole lot now, like a lot of those actors. But
To be fair though, I think he made it on a couple, like a pretty big series. God, what is his name? Someone in the comments give us Michael Hall. Thank you, pizza guy, always coming through, my man.
yes, there we go. So he was number 1, and number 2 was the kid from Roseanne and what's the dork show? I always forget the name of it.
We're really good at this.
Yeah. So
We're moving on.
Big Bang Theory kid.
There we go. Nice.
He was also. Now here's a tidbit for you.
Yes.
He was in Dave Matthews Band's Video for Satellite. How about that?
You would figure out a way to bring up Dave Matthews Band on the show.
How about that? You're not going to find that kind of a nugget anywhere else on any other podcast, Dave.
Nick, what do you got for us? Top 3 Christmas movies of all time.
All right, for sure. Let's go with my number 3. I'm going with The Grinch.
Which one?
Either, really, the cartoon and the Jim Carrey one. Those are funny. Like if you go, like if you kind of just like dumb yourself down to like a kids movie level, like funny, those are good. Like The Grinch kind of has some humor to them. I've kind of found in my later years, post childhood years, I guess.
I went back to watch the original cartoon Grinch with the kids, and I was like, oh yeah, like fully prepared to sit down for like an hour and a half. It's like 25 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah. How exactly?
Perfect
How could you
movie.
go wrong? Yeah. You see him roll up the tree and shove it down the chimney. What else do you need to see? 25 minutes gets you in the Christmas spirit, in and out.
There we go.
That's how you like to do it. All right, my number 2. I'm going with Elf. I'm surprised neither of you guys kind of went this route. Yeah, it's good. It's Will Ferrell. How could you go wrong type of movie, type of actor. I think that's really good. You got this scene where he pours like all the maple syrup and the marshmallows on the pasta, and he just like shovels it in. Or when they're drunk in the mailroom dancing on the table, like just a lot of good ones.
You got Sonny in that movie too.
Yeah, for sure. All righty, my number 1.
Ding.
Cool. I'm going with Chris's too. I'm just going with Christmas Vacation. It's
really
so good.
From the young guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. Honestly, the regular Vacation is really good too, and there's a remake of that movie. So I saw the remake first with my friends, and my parents, hit me with the, that's an old movie from from our time. And I watched it. The original one is better, and the Christmas Vacation is that's my favorite holiday movie.
I actually didn't know they did a remake of that.
Yeah, there's a new like family vacation with like none of the original actors. I think maybe like it
sounds
completely
awful.
new. It's like almost it's the same exact storyline, but it's new.
Nice.
Yeah.
No. Is there any movies that we left out? Anybody you got? Christmas movies.
I mean,
trying to get a younger perspective here.
Yeah, I mean, coming from a Gen Z guy over here, not really. I mean,
Nothing.
The ones you said are pretty much the ones that if I made a list, those would probably be in my top 3. So,
Any good TikToks about Christmas?
any good TikToks?
That's not how TikTok works. Dave.
Trying to skew younger here.
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm actually not on TikTok that much.
Good for
honestly.
you.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So I have become the resident Gen Z. Back to that title. I am on TikTok.
You would be, Nick. You would be. All right, that's Power Rank Monday. Good stuff. Thanks for the comments.
Michael Hall. I will not forget his name.
Yeah, we got Die Hard in the comments. We've got Scrooged in the comments. And Pizza Guy, again, coming through. Johnny Galecki, Chris.
Yes, that's his name. Thank you, Galecki.
What would we do without Pizza Guy?
I'll bet he didn't know that he was in a Dave Matthews video, though.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him.
With that one.
Is Die Hard that movie that people argue over? Like, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Is Die Hard not a Christmas? What is that?
Yeah, you've never seen Die Hard?
No, I've never seen it.
What?
How have you not seen that?
I've just never seen it.
Oh my! Do you know there's more than one Die Hard?
Yeah, I did know that.
There's like
Go
12.
watch Die Hard.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, definitely go watch Die Hard.
All right.
Nick.
It's a Christmas movie then?
No.
That's
All
the
right.
common take
That's
on
the
the show.
debate. That's the debate. You have to go watch it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you guys.
Report back.
There
What's
you
it
go.
on? Like, how do I watch it?
Oh, Google Die Hard. You'll figure it out.
What's it on? What are you talking about?
I'm moving on. We're going to Matt Tift for our featured interview. We got to talk some Browns. Way too much non-Browns talk here tonight. We will be back in 30 seconds with NASCAR team owner, newly found actor, and Cleveland sports fan, most importantly, Matt Tift. We will be right back with you. Stay tuned. Here we go. All right, featured interview time. We've got NASCAR team owner, newly found actor, look at this guy, and Cleveland sports fan, the one and only Mr. Matt Tift. Welcome to the Big Play Reflux Show. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for making some time. Glad to see you got that pie out of your face. What are you doing on the
I'll
internet?
take a
What
pie to
happened
face
there?
Anytime the Browns. Well, okay, so I was on Twitter and we got all this stuff about, oh, the Browns beat another crappy team. Browns got blah, blah, blah. So I was like, you know what? Whatever. So most of my audience on Twitter is from NASCAR, but they're slowly learning that I like the Browns a lot. Always been a diehard fan. And I just tweet and annoy the crap out of people. So I figured, well, let's go ahead and do something crazy. So I said, all right, you guys put in the comments what you want me to do. So obviously people said, jump in Lake Erie. I'm like, I'm not doing Sirius thing. Sorry. So so I went through, I'm not going to steal it. Then somebody put in there, wax your butthole on Instagram Live.
Wow.
There you go.
So I didn't do that one. Yeah. So naturally, the third choice was on there, get pied in the face with a thing of whipped cream. So I went with that one instead.
Choices. You made the right
That's
choice.
fair. That's fair. So, I mean, you're a younger guy. you probably never have seen a good Browns team, right? How does it feel?
Well, I remember it feels great. I mean, I remember the Derek Anderson season
Okay.
of 07 and sitting in my hotel room and watching the Colts absolutely bomb their last game of the year and the despair of, everybody because they completely blew the game, rested everybody and all that crap. So I do remember that. I've been a lifelong Browns fan, but that doesn't really get you much. I think they've had as many wins this year as the rest of my time watching the Browns. I was born in '96, so I mean, there's not much hope from when I was born to now. So yeah, it's been kind of cool.
So we're running out of things to complain about with the Browns. Not really, but I mean the defense, it needs some work. But Cody Parkey, we saw you on Twitter getting after him a little bit. Is it time to move on from Cody Parkey? Are you scaling it back?
I think it's too late in the season at this point, unless we can get Justin Tucker, which I don't think they're going to make that deal happen. So I don't know. It just frustrates me when you have a great paycheck in the NFL. Very, very handsomely paid over there. And I'm sure Cody Parkey is, before that game, he missed 3 field goals the whole year, had awesome stats. But this is what you see with guys that are in pressure-packed situations. The Browns are on a playoff run. You see the guys that step up or go down when there's time to step up and perform. So that's my worry, is that we go to, so the Ravens game, I tweeted during the middle of that game that these 4 points will come back to haunt us. And what was it? 45-42. We had to go for it for laterals and all this crap because we missed those 4 points. Obviously, we had the Harrison Bryant fumble, things like that. But that does come back to haunt you. So my fear from his reputation with the Bears and things like that before is that if this is the trend and you're trying to be a playoff team, every aspect has to be good. Now, we know Andrew Sandejo is struggling back there. Redwine comes in last night, looks better. You have to pick up the pieces where things are weak, and that's a weak spot, so you got to work on it.
Yeah, Matt, as a former, athlete yourself, in those kind of situations, like what you see with Cody, obviously completely different sport, that has to just be a mental thing, right? Because he's done those reps over and over and over again. That's just mental, right?
I mean, it has to be. I know for myself, in 2017, I had to go and hire a sports psychiatrist to get my mind right when we went to the NASCAR playoffs. It's so hard because you're there for a reason at the top level of any sport. It's not taking away from his ability. But when you go, you don't call. That's a soft call. But you don't help yourself, like Kevin Stefanski said in his presser afterwards. You don't go and hurt your team. So you set up a long, long field goal because of that situation. So Cody Parkey, coming off of last week with the Ravens, has a rough week. He's not feeling great. The whole season, not too big of an issue. But when you have things start to spiral a little bit, you gotta get that mindset right. And it's a hard thing to do. But I hope they figure it out. I'm sure he will, but you don't know if it's now, if it's next year, and you worry, okay, is this psyche going to carry into these last 2 games, which are the Browns' fate? And then you go, if you make it to the playoffs, every game is a 1-0 game, like they talk about every week. So if one piece is missing, it brings down the whole deal.
Now, a lot of people are following you because of your Brown stuff. Obviously, that's the team that's red hot right now. But little do they know, you're a diehard Tribe fan, too, and you've been backing those guys over there for a long time, had the Indians wrapped car. Is there a way, now that you're moving up there in the NASCAR world with ownership, could you pull some strings and find us a way to get a brown and orange car in somehow?
Ooh.
Man, I'd love to. One cool thing is with my medical stuff that I went through that took me out of driving and now into the ownership role is I went to University Hospitals in Cleveland and had a 10-day study out there. And it would be really cool to partner with them and the Browns to put something together. I'm all about the health aspect and, helping people, especially now with the world we got going on. But for them to be the official partner for, help things with the Browns and the Browns, being obviously my hometown team and things like that, I would love to. If anybody's listening from the Browns, let's do it. Let's work out something here. But man, it would be awesome. I mean, this is a Browns town, and it's not known for racing, but like you said, I mean, you were out down in Mid-Ohio when we had the Indians car, and it was so cool to do that, especially now with the name going away. I mean, that's something I'll remember for the rest of my life. Having a lot of people didn't know. So before the race, something on the hood right before you get to the windshield is called the cowl cover. So it protects things before it gets in the air filter and nobody messes with anything, pre-race. And so people have custom things. Maybe it's their sponsor, maybe it's something else. I always had Jobu on there, so I've always had something Indians themed, throughout my career. So I'd always take Jobu when I was in the car. Had my helmet on, had my belt strapped and everything. And my interior guy always had to take Jobu. Had to give him to me, and I had to rub Jobu's head before every race. So that was my ritual.
How about that? Now getting us back to Browns. A little known fact is you're working on a project with our guy Peyton Hillis. Got some acting going on in your near future. I know you can't give us all that much. Tell us though, how was that experience shooting a movie with Peyton Hillis? How's that going, man?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. We just wrapped up filming a little bit ago here. So we filmed over in Manaway, and the movie's called The Hunting. And it's been so fun with him and Keith Migra. And, they do the In the Backfield podcast and the Big Play Network there. So, I got on the podcast a few months ago, kind of as the NASCAR pundit. And, Peyton was a big hero of mine, being a Browns fan. Him being on the Madden cover like that was the most badass thing ever. So, naturally, I was like, holy crap, I get to work with Peyton Hillis on this thing. Like, that's sweet. Come to find out, the first day of filming, I'm dead, so my character's dead. So we filmed myself dead first, and then well, that was already on Instagram, so
Spoilers.
it's okay. But later on, we come back to see what happens and stuff. So my first day of filming, we went out there. I got special effects makeup on at like 7 a.m. So they got this neck wound, chest wound, everything ripped apart. They got blood everywhere. I mean, I look like I'm straight up murdered, which is great. That's what they're supposed to do. And then we're laying there, and it's like 20 degrees, but like 30-mile-an-hour winds, like just horrible. And they got all this wound on me, and it's just gel stuff in there, and it's 25, 30-mile-an-hour winds, and I am freezing. And I'm in this figure 4 because my leg is bitten off, and I'm dead. I can't move. So I'm sitting like in between takes. I'm like shivering like crazy. And so they do, rolling, they do camera 1, camera 2, rolling, and okay, whatever scene and action is like, can't move, like, got to stop shivering somehow. So we did that for 4.5 hours. And so I go back up to the coffee shop, and like, I can hardly walk because I've been stuck in this figure 4 for 4.5 hours. And I'm not that flexible anymore after I quit driving. I train 6 days a week. I don't train much anymore now. So, Peyton helps me up, and I feel like I'm getting carted off the field with Peyton Hillis going up to the coffee shop. And I'm up there shaking for 45 minutes. They give me green tea, chicken noodle soup, and I'm still shaking. My body's in shock. And Peyton goes, I got something in my truck that'll help you out here. So, there's whatever Arkansas accent he's got.
That was pretty good.
So sorry for butchering it, Peyton, but yeah, it's not bad. Whatever. So he goes out and gets a bottle of Crown Royal and gives me a glass, and I'm shaking like a leaf on a tree. And I still got more scenes to shoot later on. And so he pours me a tall glass of it. 10 minutes later, I'm good. And so I didn't know that back in the, American Revolution and all these old, like the Civil War and stuff like that, they had these St. Bernard dogs that would hold a barrel around their collar. And the barrel was full of whiskey. And I had no idea. And so I guess nowadays they carried medical supplies, but back then you don't have thermal coats, you don't have anything like that because it's the 1800s. So they had whiskey in there. So they would drink that to stop from going into hypothermia. So little did I know that Crown Royal that day would be my savior to keep on going. I don't have to go to the hospital or whatever, because I'm telling you, I've never been so cold in my life. But it was the coolest experience. It'll come out sometime next year. But the filming we did a couple weeks ago was at night. Peyton's coming at me in his giant suit and stuff like that to try to kill me. And it was one of the most fun experiences I've had. So to Mark Hamer and everybody over there, thank you. That was so fun.
So on top of being a movie star, you're also the youngest owners you talked about in the NASCAR Cup Series. Have you learned anything, Matt, about ownership after watching the Indians for years, after watching the Browns, or maybe even the Cavs for years? Is there anything that you've gleaned from that and you kind of bring into your experience now as an owner in the NASCAR Cup Series?
So you start off with ownership with the Indians. I don't know if that's a great way to start it off with that part of it.
What mistakes have you learned?
Situation going on right now.
I'm gonna lob that one up.
Let's try to keep it less controversial. No, I mean it's
Are you cutting
it's
payroll?
a building process. we are managing
Getting rid of
payroll.
talent.
We are
Managing
Averaging
payroll.
talent as we speak. Is that what you're doing?
see. Here's the difference. I can't farm talent right now like they can, then let them go. I'm just trying to keep the talent that I can afford. So it's interesting. There's definitely a lot of things that go on from that side because myself and my partner BJ McLeod, we are the youngest owners in NASCAR. And you look at the other ownership in the sport between Rick Hendrick, Richard Petty, Richard Childress, Gene Haas. These guys won several championships. Jack Roush. I mean, these guys have been around NASCAR forever, and they're in their 70s and 80s. But the point being there is they've been around for a long time in NASCAR. So with that being said, the big thing in there is what we've seen a lot of guys come and do is they come into the sport, they overspend on talent, equipment, whatever it may be, and all of a sudden they're gone. So the thing we have to be very mindful of is we have a charter, which is kind of like a franchise in NASCAR, so you're guaranteed into every race. We work with our sponsors and our marketing partners because in NASCAR world, you have to get those partners to be able to spend more money on the equipment, the assets there to go faster. So we just build out a 1, 5, 10, 15, 20-year plan of how we build this thing. And it'll be a slow process, but we come out of the gates with the competitive equipment, being in an alliance with Stewart Haas Racing, one of the best teams in NASCAR with Kevin Harvick and Tony Stewart owning that team. And so we just try to gradually get better year after year. And, for those guys, it took 10, 15, 20 years to get going and to be, competing for championships. And for me, being 24 years old, it's a huge opportunity to stay in the sport, which is awesome because I love NASCAR, love racing. And I was terrified when, the seizure happened. I couldn't drive anymore. It's like, I don't know how to be in the sport anymore. So this opportunity was really, a big save for me to stay involved. But I don't know how it directly correlates to other sports, but certainly you look at other examples. People have built franchises and built things over time, and that's how we look at it as a team.
Well, one of the classic crossovers when you're talking NASCAR and other sports is Michael Jordan is also an owner in NASCAR. So I've got to ask you, being a Cleveland fan, who is the greatest basketball player of all time? Are you going to go with a fellow owner, or are you going to go a different direction on this one, Matt?
Wow.
Okay, so I was not alive for the Michael Jordan. My dad, he grew up in Chicago, so he's a big Michael fan.
Okay.
At the same time in NASCAR, JTG Doherty Racing is Brad Doherty. So we got another Cleveland guy in there. Got another guy is Matt Collig from Collig Companies, big with the Indians there and their charity stuff there. So lots of Cleveland connections in here with myself and those other guys in there. So kind of cool from the ownership standpoint. But I have to go. I don't know. I want to see at the end of LeBron's career what it ends up being, because I would say LeBron as of a few years ago. I just don't know, because the climate in the NBA is so different, because I feel like you have these super teams, you have these giant things going on that you didn't hear so much about because you had the loyalty and you didn't have like, I'm going to go create my own production company. I'm going to go do this, go do that. I have all these promos I can do. I can do 1,000 Sprite commercials. That's so different today than it was back in the day that I don't know that you can directly compare. So I would say from talent and championships and things like that, you have to say Michael Jordan. But if you look at the sports landscape and what it is today, it's amazing that LeBron has gone to so many different teams and won championships. Obviously, as a Cavs fan, I would have loved to have seen them here, but we all see the mess that Kyrie Irving is, and that kind of destroyed things here, I think, for him staying for a long time.
So we got an update here, Matt.
What's that?
The Bengals are up 17-0 right now on Pittsburgh.
Woo!
How about that? So
okay, there we go.
What do you give us as far as chances of winning this division as Cleveland Browns?
Wow.
The problem is Lamar's getting hot. Lamar's getting hot right now. That scares me. Baker's getting hot, though, too. So I give it – I'm pessimistic. When we got this team, I started with me and BJ. We started at a 20% chance of us getting this team. Now, we do have 10 wins. I know. I love it. But
this is the time to be
I just want to see him make the – huh?
Where's that sports psychologist again? This is where we got to get positive, okay? The Cleveland Browns, for your first time in your lifetime, they're actually.
I love it.
You got to go positive. Come on.
Okay, well, that's the thing. This is the first time in my life that they're good. So, history tells me this is going to suck. No, I don't think they win the division. I don't think they win the division. I think they win the wild card. I think they go to the AFC divisional round. I think they lose there. That's my prediction.
Who do they play?
That's very fair.
I'm going to make you go deeper. Who do they play? Who do they lose to in the playoffs?
Ooh.
I think I think
That's tough.
they're going to lose. God, it is tough.
The Bills look
no matter
good.
What,
the
in
Titans
any
look good.
situation, they lose to Kansas City.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
I know. I think they can beat the Titans again. I think they lose to the Bills. That's who I could see them losing to. The Bills.
What a drunk fest that would be. Talk about Zumba pants for days. Us playing the Bills. How great. I mean, that's a throwback.
That would be awesome.
Oh, my God. Bills fans are great. Bills Mafia, the Dog Pound.
That'll
in the
that'll
playoffs.
be like we were like the Chicago Indians World Series. Like we went into that like, oh, it's a win-win. Like these are two great fan bases. Then when we lost, we're like, oh, screw Chicago. They suck.
Yeah, screw the Cubs. Hate their fans.
So I remember. So after the Indians went to the World Series, I was down in the Dominican, and we had a similar connection. And so I ended up going to David Ortiz's fundraiser down in the Dominican. And so I'm standing, and they have this big stage thing going on with the silent auction. And I'm looking, and there's this big 6'8" guy. And I'm trying to look past him, like, wait, he looks familiar. And again, this is right after the 2016 World Series. And I'm trying to look past him, like, oh my God. It's Aroldis Chapman, literally like a week after they just beat the Indians in the World Series. I'm like, I don't know if I want to go and punch this guy or just stand here, like in the back here. Like, I don't know what I want to do. So I just stood there.
That's fair. You don't want to get into a fight with that guy.
No. I lose. I lose big time. But you know what the worst part about this is, though? It is amazing that the Browns and the Bills are competitive and that they're, on a playoff run, both of them. But this is the most 2020 thing ever, that this is the year that we are really good for the first time. And, I mean, we saw Baker Mayfield against the Ravens quieting the crowd of 12,000 people. Imagine if that stadium was packed. That is right. I would just love to see. I mean, the earthquake in Seattle, I know it's close to the sea level out there, but imagine now the Browns on this run with a full stadium. I mean, it would be absolutely insane. And I would be there every single game, no matter how many times I'd fly back and forth from Charlotte. I would be there every time. That
is fantastic. Yeah, we're optimistic here, man. We are optimistic here. One final one before we get out of here. We had one of our live commenters ask a question. Going back to the racing, and I wanted to get your thoughts and what's kind of going on with the ownership group and what's kind of next for you guys. But he wanted to know, we got Pizza Guy. He said, how's your day different as an owner versus a driver?
So as a driver, you are very, I think selfish is the word. So you're working on your craft because you're working with a team, but they're working on their stuff when it comes to the setup of the car. As a driver, you're analyzing previous film. You're looking at what you've done. You look at data on a tablet of your throttle traces, your brake traces, everything you've done. Like, it's a full analytics thing of what you do. So you go on to look at the previous week, the next week, everything you can make better in there as a driver. You can't look too far in the future. It is very much like that mindset the Browns are on of 1-0 each week. You got to maximize every week for points or whatever it is. So you are worried about you. At the same time, you have to go out and sell sponsorship to keep on going, because NASCAR, it takes money to stay in the sport because the teams don't have as much money. So you have to go out and secure sponsorship. So you're very selfish in that regard. The sponsor part does help the team. So that's where it starts to change a little bit. You do, of course, work with your crew chief and your people there. But for the most part, you're not worried about a lot of big picture stuff. As an owner, like I've mentioned, we're talking about 5, 10, 20, 30 years. So you're looking at budgets, you're looking at personnel. As a driver, if I went and wrecked the car because I was trying to get an extra position, I didn't care. I was trying to be competitive. That's your job, is to go and compete at the highest level. As an owner, you're going, No. That's 30 grand. Please don't hit the wall. That's the
Right.
biggest difference there. So you're still selling sponsorship, but before, I don't know the inventory of axles and hubs and sway bars and, fuel cells and fuel pumps and all this stuff. I have no idea of that stuff. So now I'm in charge with my counterpart there. We're in charge of basically 10 people's salaries. That's families. You are in charge of so many things, but what's different is as a driver, especially in NASCAR right now with the big changes that are coming with this new car we have, new schedules, all this stuff, is pretty much everybody's on a 1-year contract. So as a driver, you're fighting every year between performance and getting money to get sponsorship to fight for every year. As an owner, you get to sit back a little bit and say, oh, okay, how do I get from this week to the next week and look at my budgets and make sure we're okay. But at the same time, I can plan, okay, well, if I spend $2 million here this year, I can save $4 million for next year and look at those different things. So you put the GM hat on as an owner, which is fun. If anybody wants to kind of do it, go play NASCAR Thunder 2004. That's how, like, the most, small scale way you can do this, but it's that in real life, essentially. So it's so much more, but it's really fun because right now I don't have the urge to go drive a race car because this is so immersive. It's so stressful and intense, but at the same time, it's fun because you're learning every aspect of the sport that I didn't know about before. So it's really all encompassing. And it's been fun, and I can't wait. Our first race, Daytona 500, February 14th, number 78 car, Live Fast Motorsports. So we're pumped to get down there, and hopefully we come out of this thing, win the Daytona 500. Anything can happen.
That's awesome. All right, Brown Super Bowl right into your race. Let's do it. We are on board.
I like it.
I appreciate the time.
Love it.
And go Browns, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for coming on.
All right. Hopefully I get another pie in my face after next week. So let's go.
Don't jump in the water.
I'm not. That's poisonous.
That's right. All right, Matt Tifft, everyone. Round of applause for Matt. Great stuff there.
Is that a round of applause?
That was a round of applause. You didn't like that? You didn't like
It
that?
sounded
round
like
of
we were
applause?
underwater.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to work on that round of applause. All right, let's move into some Cleveland headlines and keep talking about those 10-4 Browns. Let's get it going.
Dave, I'm going to stop you.
Please do.
Because we're going to go and do baseball cards now. Because I'm not going to let another show go by where we don't do
Oh,
cards.
you're watching the clock. You see
We gotta
there's
throw
15
down
minutes
cards.
till
And
10.
I know you're going to pinch me again. And I won't be able to get the cards in. So
All right.
I've got 2 decks here. I've got 1990 Fleer Baseball, and I've got a clear one that's already got a card showing for Eric Show. There you go.
Eric
So both
Show?
these- Eric Show. That's right. He's a pitcher for the Padres.
All right.
He would be yours if you were to pick this pack.
Very interesting.
What pack do you want? Do you want the one on my right or the one on my left? Dave?
I am going to go your left. I'm going to
My
pass on Eric's Show.
So you're going with Fleer 1990, and today we are going to have
Any gum?
no gum. And we're going to have Noah is going to be our judge for this today. So here we go.
All right, let's do it.
Right off the top, Howard Johnson, Hojo.
Hojo Hotels, yes.
Joe from the Mets. Everybody remembers him.
Oh, yeah.
Greg Olson, pitcher from the Orioles.
Who is that?
Greg Olson.
Oh, great pitcher.
Yeah, one of the Olsen twins. Jeff Peterak, pitcher from Milwaukee.
Nope.
Steve Farr, pitcher, Kansas City.
No.
Don Ace.
Don
Matt,
Ace.
pitcher from the Mets.
No idea.
Oh, here's a good one, Dave. You're going to like
boy.
this one. Guy by the name of Joe Carter.
Ooh, yeah, that's making the cut.
As an Indian, too. Oh,
Nah.
back to back here. Ohio Pride. Paul O'Neill. from your Cincinnati Reds.
Paul, wait, from the Yankees?
No. This is when he played for the Reds.
Oh, I
But it's
hated
the same
that.
guy.
He looked like
Yeah,
a porn star.
right. This one doesn't count. This is a 10th anniversary Player of the Decade, Jose Canseco. He was indeed the Player of the Decade.
Chris, are you dating Jose Canseco yet?
I am not. I tried to catfish Jose Canseco this past week. And I got to like first base in that he returned an email and said he wanted to see more photos of this girl that I sent that I said was
What
me.
photo did you go with?
I don't. It was some Instagram model, and I sent it to him. And I put a story with it, Dave. I was like, Jose, my dad talks about how great you were with the Bash Brothers, and I was too young to see you, but man, I'd love to go out to dinner with you. And he returned an email and just said, send more pictures. So I did at the same Instagram model, and then he stopped.
You have too much free time.
I think my email address, Chris McNeil, probably gave it away. I called myself Christine or Christy or something to try and cover it up, but just a quick Google search will give me up. And
Jose's too smart for that, Chris.
that's right. But yeah, he was offering like I don't know, for people just to go on a date with, like women, and I just jumped on it because I have no life, as you said. All right, from the Giants, Kirk Manoring. Nope. Eric Hetzel. Jerome Walton.
No.
Oh, here's one. B.J. Surhoff. I remember.
That's a good one.
Mike Fetters, pitcher for the Angels. Doug Baker, second baseman for the Twins. Mitch, the bitch, Webster, outfielder for the Cubs. So, who you like here?
All right, I'm going with Joe Carter,
Right?
and I'm going to go Hojo.
And Hojo.
Going
Okay.
Hojo. Howard Johnson.
So you're not going Paul O'Neill. You've got.
I don't like Paul O'Neill. I never liked Paul O'Neill.
lot of
He was
red
part of that like hated Yankees team. Him, what was the guy? Bernie, whatever his name was.
Williams.
Bernie Williams. Yeah, hated that team. No Paul O'Neill for me.
Here's my pack. We've got Eric Show. We all knew that, right?
Wow.
We got pitcher Joe Maygrain. There we go. Bobby McKeon, shortstop from the Yankees. Bill Allman, infielder from the Mets. Larry Herndon, outfielder from the Detroit Lions. Oh, here we go. From your Cleveland Indians, the Cleveland Don't Call Me Indians, Pat Tabler.
Who?
Pat Tabler. You don't remember him? He was a catcher? No, he's first baseman.
You don't remember him? Catcher.
He's from Hamilton, Ohio.
I don't remember him.
Patrick Sean Tabler. You don't remember him? Oh, I remember Pat Tabler. Shane Raleigh. Cecil Fielder from the Blue Jays.
That is a great one.
This is senior, kids.
Oh.
Noah, this is senior.
So
Ricky
that's-
Horton.
So that was Prince Fielder's grandpa?
Prince Fielder's dad.
Oh, his dad. Okay.
Robin Yount. He's not bad. Dave Stapleton. Larry Sheets. Mike Jackson. The pitcher. Also
Wow.
pitched for the Indians.
He was good.
Scott Lusader. And no way. Is this right? Did he play for the Brewers? This has got to be. Yeah. Richard Eugene Manning, otherwise known as Rick Manning.
No kidding.
Man.
Look at that card. What
Yeah.
team? What team was he on?
The Brewers.
The
Yeah.
Brewers. Wow.
I had no idea.
Where's the Matt Underwood card?
Yeah, no kidding. A Rick Manning. There's a good pull. So I'm going to go with Rick Manning and Cecil Fielder versus your Hojo, Howard Johnson, and Joe Carter. What do you say here?
Before we get to the answer, Chris, will you look at that Cecil Fielder again? He looks skinny in that picture.
He does.
I remember him being very rotund.
So they're giving him 6'3", 220.
I don't believe that for what?
220. when
Is
he
that
was
his
at
rookie year?
this looks like 3 years in.
Really? So he
Yeah.
got way bigger over time,
Yeah.
like most of us.
Traded from Royals to Blue Jays. I didn't know he started off at the Royals, then went to the Blue Jays.
Huh.
Well, there you go. Noah, this is up to you.
Yeah.
Who you got here?
These
Howard
are-
Johnson, Joe Carter, or Rick Manning? And who was the last guy I had? It was not Eric Show. Cecil Fielder. of
Yeah.
course.
I mean, for me, this is like pretty even, at least in my eyes. So I might have to do a coin flip, like literally.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Do you have a
Actual
coin?
flip. Yeah, I have to take it out of my wallet here.
He's gonna do a coin.
You have a
flip.
coin on
Oh,
you. No
it-
kidding.
He's got a
Yes.
coin. We're gonna do this
Gotta
off
make
camera.
this fair because
This
like
is great radio.
Yeah.
no one wants
All
to
right.
flip a penny.
Flip the penny. Let's go.
Yeah, let's
Penny?
flip it.
Yep. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right.
Here we go.
In
It
the air.
is.
Did anyone
It's
call it?
No.
He just
Chris,
flipped
or you pick a side. Heads or
Okay.
Tails.
Tails.
Tails,
It's always
and
tails.
Dave will have
Heads.
heads. Okay.
That's the way it works.
Oh, it's a practice flip. Nice.
There it is. It's gonna be tails, right?
Spinning.
Spinning.
It is tails.
Tails. There we go. Another win for me. Thank you, Rick Manning.
Dumb.
Thank you, Arch. Thank you, Arch. He's going to go right up there in our all-star lineup next to Dan Plesac. I've got two
Not
cards
bad.
now.
They-
that
those are
memorable.
good. Yeah, those are really good.
Rick
Yeah,
Manning and Dan
Dan
Plesac.
Plesac.
Very good cards there. So now we can go on to headlines, Dave.
Nice.
Thank you for indulging.
We've gone almost an hour and we've barely talked about our 10-4 Browns. We are
Great.
going headlines. Let's go. All right, Browns got back on track last night. 20-6 win over the Giants. Colt McCoy, Omaha. Did Freddie Kitchens' fourth down play calling make you feel better, Chris? What a night! What an absolutely epic night for us here in Cleveland.
I just got tipped off here. Pat Tabler's kid played at Miami. How
No
about that?
way.
So there you go. Pat Tabler connections all over the place.
Look at all these stat interns out there. I love it.
Yep.
What do you think? That game?
About the Browns?
Yeah,
We're
the
gonna finally
Browns.
talk the 10-4 Browns.
Yeah, let's do it.
How about that? Baker looked efficient. Baker looked good. I don't recall at any point watching that game where I wanted to pull my hair out when it comes to Baker Mayfield. I thought he played very well. I thought Stefanski kept everybody. I like the play calling. Even at the beginning when the defense was bending, we didn't break. Now Freddie Kitchens went Freddie Kitchens, which was absolutely fantastic. That was vintage Freddie. And that is it's so great to see. It's like it's this time of the year. It's Ghost of Christmas Past. You get to see Colt McCoy. You get to see Freddie Kitchens. And then you get to see Freddie Kitchens do what Freddie Kitchens does so well, which is just make the wrong call at the wrong time. And he did it twice. And it really hurt his team early. And really from that point forward, there was no chance. So that was just an enjoyable Sunday night after just to cap a great day. Buckeyes in the playoff. Then you cap it with that. Fantastic. That's a Sunday, Dave. That was great. That was great.
And it was the first time in my life where I watched a routine, kind of boring win where it wasn't the last second. You could tweet, "Oh, we're 10-4," like 5 minutes before it actually happened. We've never really had that before. It's always a nail biter. We're gonna screw it up at some point, and this feels completely different now. We actually have a real team. It's super weird, still processing it, and we have a real quarterback, which is also kind of a weird thing to process. Pro Football Focus is ranked Baker Mayfield second
Amazing.
after Week 7 or since Week 7 in the entire NFL. Nick, how are you feeling about Baker Mayfield right now?
Yeah, I'm feeling good about him, guys. I mean, Chris said it better than how I could ever say it. Interesting stuff, though, about the Week 7, because there was also a pretty interesting event that happened in Week 7 where a lot of people kind of made the gesture of if Baker vastly improves, the Browns are going to have some answers, some questions to answer come this offseason. And I feel like those are very present in reference to Odell Beckham Jr. and that when he went down, Baker just turned into rookie year Baker. And this version of what we are seeing out of our quarterback right now is exactly what we thought we would be seeing going into last year. We thought play action, using the bootleg, rolling him out when it's smart, letting him step up into the pocket. His pocket presence after the bye week has been impeccable. I know I didn't get to come on here after last week's win, but the touchdown throw that he had to Rashard Higgins, where he kind of dodged a Baltimore defender and just caught Higgins, wide open after Peters fell down. that's something that we haven't seen out of Baker ever. Like, that was his one knack his rookie year too, was he held on to it for too long and took a lot of sacks, made a lot of turnovers in bad spots. But yeah, I could see him being rated too seriously since week 7.
Yeah, I mean,
thrown 1 interception in the last 7 games. Is that right?
yeah.
He threw one against Baltimore when Witt disguised the coverage. So that's his only interception is when, Bowser for the Ravens was lined up as an end and then dropped back in coverage.
Oh, that's right.
And Stefanski put all that blame on him. And if you go back and on himself, on the coaching, if you go back and watch that, Rashard Higgins was the only receiver open. So he was literally the only read. It wasn't like that was a bad read. He was just the only guy that left the line. So that was just a miscommunication type of thing. But yeah, since week 7, that being the only interception is a very, very, very good sign.
Yeah, Nick, to your point, I think we've locked up our wide receiving core for the future. We've got Jarvis Landry is a legitimate wide receiver 1 on the majority of NFL teams if you traded him away. He's the guy. Rashard Higgins looks awesome. You mentioned it. He put up some awesome catches. And then you've got Donovan Peoples-Jones, who he seems to be like our long ball guy. I mean, I think last week he had 3 catches, 18 yards per catch. I mean, we're better with Odell, I think, next year in that mix, but it's definitely not a need right now.
No, it's not a need. And such an interesting, thing to look at, because when we traded for Odell, there was not one person that said this is somehow going to make Baker worse. Like, it was just like, think about how he's going to open up this offense, even if he is double covered all the time and he can't put up, the 1,100 yard seasons and 10 touchdowns like he's accustomed to and like we were expecting. But even after he's gone down, Baker's still finding open guys. The running game is still just as efficient. Like, it's like we haven't missed a beat. And matter of fact, it's not only that they haven't missed a beat, they've gotten better. So that's why I'm just optimistic. He doesn't really need an Odell Beckham Jr.
Does he remind you of perhaps John Elway?
Oh, my God.
What was that?
That was so weird. And he kept going with it and kept doubling down and digging his hole.
They knew they had lit a little fire on social media because
Yeah.
second half he went back in on that one. And I know what he was talking about. If you see old film, and I remember John Elway very vividly, of course, for very bad things in Cleveland, but the way he walked, he was always like pigeon-toed almost. And so he threw the ball kind of pigeon-toed. And he was talking about Baker having that similar, I guess, type of a toe ankle. And it's like, okay, I mean, if you're going to bring up that name in Cleveland, you got to be ready. You've got to be ready, and you've got to have that down of exactly what you mean by that. You don't just bring up John Elway in Cleveland to talk about a toe. I mean, forget about that. He knew that. He knew. He's a troll. He hates the Browns. I mean, he's an old Bengal, so he knew what he was doing. He knew exactly where that was going to go. But I couldn't. I couldn't contain myself when he compared him to John Elway.
Yeah, how about that, Chris? Because we have Collinsworth, who played for Cincinnati, like you said, hates the Browns. And you have Tirico filling in for Al Michaels, who's dealing with, some COVID stuff and couldn't make it to the game. And then Al Michaels is like a lifelong New Yorker. Like, he's after every small, minute mistake that the Browns made in that fourth quarter, could this be the moment that lets the Giants back into the ball game? Like, come on, Tirico. They haven't moved the ball in the last 45, 50 minutes of real time, let alone the game. So that was just kind of maddening to watch. That crew last night was on something else.
And then there was the defense, who we were all complaining about on social media because they haven't looked good this year. But like at the time, they'd given up 3 points. And kind of to our points weeks ago when we were getting turnovers, 4th down, twice stopped them. They bend don't break type of defense, and I guess if you can't get the turnovers, if you can make 4th down stops, you're gonna be okay. I mean, I guess that's a turnover, right?
Yeah, hopefully we go against Freddie Kitchens in the playoffs.
That was exactly what I was going to say.
Oof.
The defense is going to look awesome when we're going up against a Freddie Kitchens play calling every week. I mean, come on. I'll take that anytime. I can diagram the defense. I mean, come on. But they did. They played well. And Freddie did his best to make them look good. Thank you, Freddie.
So, Chris, you mentioned it earlier when we were talking with Matt. Who do you want to play in the playoffs? What are we, 90, 95% to get in now? It's got to be around there, right?
It's getting pretty close, especially after the Bengals knock off the Steelers tonight.
So, if fast forward, which division winner would you want to play in the playoffs?
Give me the
NFC East.
Give me the Saints in the Super Bowl. How about that?
All right, but what about the AFC?
I'd love the Buffalo matchup.
Yeah,
know,
they look good though.
The Zumba Pants Bowl. I mean, that would just be
Yeah.
fun. That would just be fun. I mean, it's the NFL. Once you get into the playoffs, anything can happen. So, give me Buffalo. Give me anybody but Kansas City. To be honest with you, because I don't think we'd match up very well against Kansas City. Buffalo, they should scare me. They don't scare me that much. They'd probably blow us out. But I think that would be such a fun matchup that I'll give that a try. I would love to just see our fan base against their fan base. One of the good friends of the show is obviously Clay Matthews, Jennifer Matthews.
Yeah.
Go back to Clay Matthews making that just unbelievable interception of Jim Kelly at the goal line to win that playoff game. I mean, and that was Jim Kelly versus Bernie Kosar. Those are the good times for both of these franchises. And it would be fun, in a year like 2020, when both these franchises happen to be good, it'd be fun to have them match up in the playoffs.
Oh, yes, it would. Yes, it would. But it would also be very fun to beat the Steelers.
Well, yeah, that too. And we won't have Dennis Northcutt on dropping any balls, hopefully this time.
Nick, who would you want to face?
Yeah, I want to play the Steelers.
Yeah?
I need a passing of the torch kind of moment in this division, right? I mean, we know that the Lamar reign could be over. Does he get figured out? Maybe that's to be seen. But with Big Ben, it's like the writing is kind of on the wall, right? They can't run the ball at all. And as the weeks go by, you're starting to see Big Ben age. So I need to see the Browns beat Pittsburgh in a game that matters. I don't know if it will be week 17 this year. Will Pittsburgh be in a place where they rest their starters? Will the Browns be in a position where they have a playoff spot locked up? There's so much what if that goes about it. The only certain thing would be to play the Steelers in the playoffs, dare I even say in Heinz Field, and beat them. That would be the passing of the torch, and that would prove that this rivalry is all the way back on and that the Cleveland Browns are legit.
They're still down 17-0 to the Bengals. So, yeah, I kind of like our chances there.
Exactly.
Pro Bowl was announced. Don't really care about it, but we've got some Pro Bowlers, so that's kind of cool here in Cleveland. Congrats to those guys. We've got Nick Chubb, Myles Garrett, and Joel Bitonio. Chris, did we any snubs? I don't even think we want anyone in the Pro Bowl. Do you?
No. Who cares?
It's not even happening this year.
Not even a play.
Oh, it's just a Zoom call?
It's an accolade. I think they're doing something on Madden in all seriousness.
Really?
Or something, I think.
What is it? It's a Madden thing?
Yeah, something about Madden. Yeah.
Very nice. When are they going to play it?
Good question. I mean,
Whatever, it's Madden.
Yeah.
Well, I know.
Depends on how long it takes in between. Like I know the Pro Bowl is like right before the Super Bowl, so I wonder if they'd like play it in between that, or they play it after the season. I don't know.
Hopefully, our guys.
The Pro Bowl is so stupid. It's the worst. Just get rid of it.
I agree.
Just Zoom calls from now on. You win a Zoom call.
Yeah.
And it's like 75% based off of fan voting, but then the league has like a say in the other 25%. Like Andy Janovich was leading fan voting for fullbacks by like a ton.
Love it.
Because obviously this town is obsessed with fullbacks, and he gets snubbed. So like, why even have fan voting? Pro Bowl is so useless.
I bet you we could get Andy Janovich on the Madden cover.
Oh, Denzel Ward also got snubbed.
Yeah, he missed some time though.
He's been ouchy.
Although Nick Chubb, to be fair, was out for a bit too. But congrats to those guys. All right, let's look forward. We've got a pretty tough matchup. We've got the New York Jets.
The red hot.
The red hot winning streak Jets. Let's look at some prop bets as we look into this game, presented by my bookie.
It's the most wonderful time of year that can't end soon enough. Dave and Chris, we all deserve a win. We all deserve a little extra money in our pocket. We all deserve to have a little fun. The only place you're guaranteed to get all three of those things is with our friends over at MyBookie. They're the only sports book that doesn't care whether you were naughty or nice this year, because they've got gifts for everyone. You could bet on the NFL. You could bet on the NBA, which is back tomorrow. All your favorite college sports and more. Sign up today. Receive the ultimate stocking stuffer, a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's a great place to start, but we all know Christmas is about what's under the tree, and at MyBookie, that means huge deposit bonuses, epic giveaways, free contests, and more. It's this simple. Sign up using our promo code BIGPLAY and get your deposit matched halfway up to $1,000. Head over to MyBookie to make the most out of the holidays this season and strut into 2021 with some extra spending cash in your pocket. This winter, bet with the best. Bet with our guys over at MyBookie.
That's right. Get those in. Get those prop bets in, because the Browns easily covered against the Giants. 3-point spread there. This week, a little bit different. 9.5-point favorites. When is the last time the Browns were 9.5-point favorites?
On the road.
On the road.
On the road, yeah. Oh, thank God for the Jets. And by the way, how happy are you that the Jets won this week? Because I did not want to have a winless Jets going up against the Browns. That just was set up for us to do something stupid. I really believe that as a Browns fan.
Yeah,
Especially
I'm with you.
History, having gone 0-16, for that to happen, but now they've won their game. They're going to take their foot completely off the gas. The Browns should roll them. Give me the Browns. Give me 9.5. The Browns are going to just steamroll them.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I'm exactly to your point. So happy the Jets won, and now they might not get their quarterback. We'll see how it all plays out, but they might be stuck with Sam Darnold, which we'll see how that all plays out. But Cleveland 8-0 against crappy teams with losing records this season. The numbers point to the Browns to God, hopefully blow them out here. Chris, I'm with you. I think we win by at least 2 touchdowns here. Nick, are you going to be a pessimist here? Or are we just going to blow the lights out of here with the Jets?
Yeah, give me the Browns, give me the points. The Jets blow, guys. I mean, they fired Greg Williams mid-year. Come on. Yeah, Adam Gase is as good as gone, too. How about him leaving one final stink on that organization by getting a win? People don't realize they talk about Trevor Lawrence, in football circles under the same breath of Andrew Luck's, Peyton Manning's of the world. And Adam Gase just said, on my way out, let me just screw up one more thing for you guys. What a beautiful poetic ending.
Do you have any updates on Greg Williams? Is he a head coach yet?
He's still going through those candidacies. He's got them on his desk.
Yeah, there's so many candidacies this year, and all those teams want to talk to him.
I'm just waiting for a formal announcement at this point.
It's coming. It's a lot of paper to go through.
Of course.
46.5 over under.
The Browns are going to score 47. So
Wow. I might go under on that one. I don't see the Jets putting up many points, but then again, the Browns defense doesn't look all that great.
Noah and I have the over. We're strong in the over.
Yeah, I can't bet the under.
We're going against Sam Darnold and Frank Gore.
That's right. How old is Frank Gore now?
65.
He was alive the last time the Browns went to the playoffs.
Yeah, he won a championship before it was the NFL.
That's right.
Browns scored 26.
Going back and forth for the rushing title.
Browns scored 26 a game. We allow 27. Yeah, Jets are like the Giants. 14 points a game they put up.
And how many did they allow, Dave?
30.
30.
They give up 30 points a game. Chris, I'm with you, man. I'm going over with you.
15, they give up 30. There's a recipe for winning.
Wow.
Right there.
Here's one. Will Baker Mayfield go over 300 yards? I feel like he was over 300, and then now he ended up with 297. I don't know if that was a victory formation or what it was, but
so on the air he had 300, didn't they?
yeah, they did. Yeah, so I think he had it, and then I think if you get sacked, that counts as passing yards now. I don't know. 300 yards, Chris. Is he doing it again?
Sure, why not? It's the Jets. He might go 400.
Nick?
Yeah, Jets stink. I'm taking all the Brown
Jets
stats,
stink.
guys. The Jets.
This is the consensus. Is this the week that I hit my Browns over parlay prop bet?
Chubb
could
100
be.
yards, Hunt 100 yards, Baker 400 yards, Landry 100 yards. I mean, it's just going to be everybody gets yardage.
Give Dearness Johnson 75.
There you go. Yes.
Here's a prop bet in my bookie. Will Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt both score a touchdown this week?
Sure, why not? Everybody
Yes.
is. I'm going to score. Dave, you may have one.
Yeah, why not?
You know, offensive lineman. That's a nice prop bet. Maybe we go to a tackle or something.
Here's a prop bet we're not used to outside of the game looking forward. Baker Mayfield is officially an option for NFL MVP.
No way.
11th best odds to win the award at plus 20,000.
Too many haters.
20,000.
Worth a dollar bet there, Chris?
Sure, a dollar bet. Yeah,
Sure.
sign me up. What the heck? He's my guy. But there's no way he wins it. Too many haters out there. No.
How about Stefanski as coach of the year?
That should
If
happen.
if we win the next 2 games, do you think that happens?
That should happen. That should happen now.
Yeah.
Even if he loses the
Yeah.
next 2 games. He took the Cleveland Browns and gave us double-digit wins. I mean, come on.
in his first season in COVID.
In a COVID,
Yeah.
got a full off season. You know, come on.
Yeah, he should at least be a finalist. At least.
Yeah, I think he will be. Score predictions, Chris, 47 to what?
47-3. They're going to kick a field goal, just like the Giants.
Nice. Nick, score
point.
prediction for this one?
Yeah, I'm going 30-3. I think we're gonna just run the ball at the end.
All right, I think I
Come
think
on.
they're gonna
I
get a few more
Come on.
points than Colt McCoy did. I think Sam Darnold's a little bit better. I'm gonna go 35-21.
Noah, what do you see?
Garbage points at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like every other week with the Browns. I'm gonna go 42-17.
42-17. Also pounding that over with me. That a boy.
11-4 could happen. That would be
Don't say it
crazy.
out loud. Don't say it out loud.
Oh, you're the guy who's like, oh, Baker hasn't picked off in how long?
Yeah, the football guys. They're listening. They actually listen to our podcast. And
They
decide
do.
on a week-by-week basis by what we say on this podcast. So I'm always careful.
Let's give a
Did you
bold
have a
prediction.
Oh, my bad. I was gonna say something.
Go ahead, Noah. What's up?
Gonna say, like, could you imagine if the Steelers ended up losing tonight and then next week in the Colts, and then we're battling out for the division in Cleveland?
It's gonna happen.
Imagine if there were fans there.
It would have happened.
That
if
could
you would've
happen.
said it Out loud. I
Yeah.
told you the football guys.
No,
I did
rude.
say imagine though.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. You hedged. You
Yes.
hedged quite nicely. You're learning.
Bold predictions.
Bold predictions.
All right. Nick, let's put you on the spot with a bold prediction.
Cavs go to 1-0 this week.
That is what it was going to be. At this time next week, we will be talking about our 3-0 Cleveland Cavaliers. They'll have 3 under their belt by
Wow.
then, and they're going to be 3-0, boys. Open up against LaMelo Ball in Cleveland. Then you got a bad Detroit team in the Andre Drummond revenge match. And then who they play week 3, or the third game, I have no idea. But we're going to be talking about our 3-0 Cavs next Monday.
That's what I
Nice.
tuned in for, to hear your Cavs primer.
Nicola, he that's like your David Matthews. He'll always fit a Cavs, little Cavs into the show.
In fact, Andre Drummond was in Ants Marching for a little cameo there at the beginning.
My bold prediction, I am going with Myles Garrett. I think he's going to start feeling better. Hopefully, COVID's taking a toll on him, so feel better, Myles. I think he's going to have 3 sacks against the Jets.
That's nice.
3 sacks for Myles Garrett.
I feel that. Noah, you got a bold prediction?
Ooh, I wasn't really thinking of one.
I'll give you mine. While
yeah,
we're
you go
waiting on
first.
Noah's.
Let's hear it.
Browns are going to win the AFC North. No doubt about it. Football gods, you weren't listening. They tuned out. I'm sure, after I gave it to Noah earlier for saying such things. But the Browns are going to win the AFC North. Noah,
like to
what do
see
you got
that.
to follow that one up?
Yeah. I mean,
Cavs 4-0.
no, I don't want to go off Knicks. Honestly, actually, I think I might go with the Cavs one. I think Okoro is going to drop 25 on opening night.
Wow.
25.
There you go. You got people across the land going, who?
Nick, what did LeBron drop in his rookie debut with the Cavs?
I want to say it was
18? Yeah, 18 and a half. Yeah, somewhere around 18, 19 points, I think.
I wonder what the Cavs rookie record is. I don't know.
Is he going to break it? There's a bold one. That's going really bold.
Back to our interview when we asked about greatest basketball player of all time, I thought Matt Tift was going to go Brad Daugherty. That would have been fantastic.
That would
missed opportunity.
That would have been a very good homer answer. I would appreciate that. Brad's great though. Whenever you see him on NASCAR, you're always like, "Hey, that's Brad Daugherty."
Yeah, he's the man.
He really is, man, and it's good for him. I mean, that's his real passion. I know he obviously played basketball and played very well for us and was an all-star in the whole 9 yards. But man, oh man, that dude digs his NASCAR and does a hell of a job. I think he's still on ESPN, isn't he?
I think so. Yeah. Nick, are you happy? We're talking Cavs basketball at the end of the show as the Browns wrap up 10-4.
I like it. I'm actually a little disappointed in myself though. LeBron's debut on October 29th, 2003, an 18-year-old James finished with 25 and 9 on 12 of 20 shooting.
Wow.
Okoro's dropping 26.
26.
Oh, there's the bold prediction. I love that.
You're going high. Very good, Noah. I think that'll bring us out of here.
I think that'll take us out. So thanks for tuning in to the Big Play Reflux Show. Thanks to Matt Tiff for joining us. Looking forward to his journey in NASCAR as it continues on. Huge shout out to Shaq News, my bookie. And we will see you guys next Monday night to talk about the 11-4 Browns. Go Browns. Have a great week. And Merry Christmas. What's it? Merry Christmas. We'll see you soon. Oh, and also, last shout out. Thanks to everyone who donated to help out with Rake. All you guys in the comments, a lot of money went towards families this Christmas, so that is super, super cool. Appreciate it. A lot of money, a lot of presents. Made some Christmases here in Cleveland, so good stuff there. And we'll end that, and the Browns are 10-4.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
And Chris will fight you.
What is wrong?